This next video is going to be on customer contacts, customer profiles, how to get into them, how to modify them, and how to view them in a quick format. This is a very important area. It is you want your staff to be well trained in this area so they can view customer profiles while they're checking in customers. It gives them a snapshot of the life of the customer and what their purchase history is like and what their trends are like. So once again, we're going to go into the play side of Total League Golf, our POS. We're going to enter in our 4-digit number to get in there. And when we default to the T sheet here, you'll see this box up here. You see it on multiple screens with a blue hyperlink. So you can see it on the T sheet here. If we go to the order screen, same box coming up. If we were to book a tee time, same boxes. You can see them in the tee time area with hyperlinks. So anywhere that you see this name, phone number, sometimes it'll say member here, but anywhere you see the blue underlined hyperlink and a customer lookup area with a magnifying glass, they all function the same. So for this training, I'm going to work off the T sheet in this lookup area, but anywhere you see these, so on the tee time booking engine, on the order screen, they all work the same and pull out of the same database. If I were to just click the phone here, there isn't a customer in here, so it's not going to do anything. The hyperlink works off of whatever customer you have in here, and then the magnifying glasses work off your entire contact database. So if I click that magnifying glass, here's our database. I could scroll through all of our customers. If I were to have Smith in the name area, click the magnifying glass, it's going to default and look up anybody in the database with the last name Smith or with the characters of Smith in it. So for instance, you see Goldsmith there. So if I go into Barry, hit lookup, right when you get into the contact lookup again, you'll see there's another search box here under display name. I can continue typing, for instance, Keith, and there you'll see it'll pull Barry and then anybody with the first name Keith. You'll see that customer populate. I can hit the backspace and search for Bob. You'll see anybody with Bob Barry. It looks like we have multiple contacts there. So that is another way to search through the contact lookup. It just drills down the lookup a little easier right when you get into this area. So I'm going to throw myself into that customer lookup. You'll see the phone populates. And now at this time, if I click the hyperlink, you'll see it's going to come into my contact record. So this is the screen that you want to get familiar with. Lots of information stored here. This is where we want to grab information from the customer if we're building a new one or editing an existing customer. So once we're into this edit contact, which once again we populate the name area with the customer we're trying to look at, hit the hyperlink, and it brings us into the contact area. This holds true, like I said, in the order screen or when you're booking a tee time. Anytime you have a customer in there, you hit the hyperlink, you're in this area. So we're going to work out of this area today, and I'm going to show you what all these tabs do, what information we're really looking for. So first of all, obviously we have on the top here we have new, which if we were to click new, it's just going to refresh this area. Save, obviously, save and clear will give us a clean slate. Delete, we can delete the contact, and we can make accounts for each contact in here if they are hosting an event or a tournament or a banquet. So I'm going to exit out of there, hit the hyperlink again so it populates with my contact record. Once again, like I just did, you could hit new. It'll give you a fresh slate to build a new customer. So last name, first name, obviously all the information, general information on the contact. Do want to stress two really key pieces of information. If you don't have a ton of time to get from the customer, we want you looking for the zip code and the email. Those would be 1 and 2. Third would probably be the phone number, but I do stress that email and zip code are the two most important if you're trying to get some information from the customer. We have gender, date of birth, so a lot of information you can grab if you have time from the customer. As we move down, this member status we're not using. Card ID we're not using. Important area here, price level. We do use this area. Price levels are what assign, obviously, rates from the T-sheet to the order screen to fully checking out. So you can see I'm classified as an employee. If I were to click this magnifying glass and clear out this employee, you'll see there are all your price levels. So if Keith was a marshal or a junior, we could reassign that price level, and that's what's going to be that's the rate that's going to be pulled over with this contact when you're checking them in. There is another feature to this price level, which is multiple price levels. And what multiple price levels do is it assigns a date range to a price level. So for instance, if you have annual passes or monthly members or PDPs, you can add these here and they will fall off with the given date range, and there's no limit to them. So if I were to purchase a frequent card for this month, I could add frequent card. Let's say it was for the month of March, so March 1st through the end of March. Hit save, and there you go. So that price level is now assigned to that contact. So you can't add multiple price levels with date ranges in this area. And once again, that's right there on the price level in the contact record. So this one's a permanent one that will stay there until you change it, and this one is a date range and multiple price levels. So that's an overview of the general tab. Once again, zip code, email, and price level, important areas there. If we move across, here's an account snapshot. So it looks like there's an account attached to myself under my name and another tournament account there. So these are where your accounts would line up. If you were to hit auto generate account under any contact, these are where we could create accounts. So if I was hosting the Raider Nation event, I could create a third account. So there's no limit to how many accounts I have or how many tournaments or events I host. Phone numbers in here, type of account. This is kind of optional what you'd like to label your accounts. You can break them down in 3 different categories there. Credit limit, so if they're allowed AR, you could go unlimited credit or a certain dollar amount. You know, this tournament is going to spend somewhere around 5,000, and then we're not using this member ID area at this time. So I hit submit, go back into account, and there you go. It added Raider Nation as an account. And then the default button is just the one that's going to default when you're charging to an account. So you can switch through these 3 accounts, but the one that's going to pop up is the one you have checked as the default. Classes, these are member classes. Not using this at this current time, and I'll go over this in further detail in a future video. Really important tab here, summary. Probably the most important one outside of just general information. This is where you can really see the track record of your customer or your contact. So we got a snapshot of the last 12 months, and then obviously snapshot of the lifespan of the customer. So these are just totals, rounds booked, rounds paid, no-show, golf purchases, pro shop, food and beverage events, and then a total. Then we have some tabs over here to break it out even further. So in the pro shop sale area, you can see sales by ID, type of sale, so T times, how many they bought, what it was, the date purchased. A lot of great information here. You can search through these areas using these drop downs here. So I can search of what the customers bought. So if I click in the ball area, I can see, Keith Berry likes to buy Pro V1. So if I'm walking around the golf shop looking around and you're working the counter, you can dive into this area while the customer's in there, check his summary, and say, hey, Keith likes to buy Titleist Pro Vs, and you could mention, hey, Keith, we have a sale on Pro Vs if you buy a dozen today. So you kind of know the trends of the customer in here, and this is the area I was speaking of that you really want to get familiar with, is this summary tab, being able to get in here quickly, drill through this area, see what the customer likes to purchase, what their trends are, and then you'll be able to offer them to their liking. Same holds true for food and beverage. You can drill through their food and beverage purchases. Doesn't look like there are any on this contact at this time. So once again, that's the summary tab. Get familiar with the general tab and the summary tab. Being able to get in here quickly, look through it, and see what the customer, what their history is like and what their trends are like. Moving through, we have some notes. So if you wanted to create notes on the customer, this area is only viewed from the point of sale, so the customer will never see this on a receipt or anything like that. So after I looked at that summary area, Keith likes Pro Vs. So we can speed up the process here too. If we keep good note records in here, you can click on the note or the summary area and know, hey, Mr. Berry really likes Pro Vs. I want to offer those to him. Point summary. This is a future feature that we'll be using, so you won't need this tab, but it will come into play in the future. Surveys. We can track surveys for customers here. We can take surveys in here, quick ones. We have some properties in here, so just if there's multiple addresses or multiple information on one contact, it's going to populate in here. Same holds true for address. If they have multiple addresses, you can populate them in here. Add, delete credit card. We won't be using that feature, so you won't need that button. Transaction details. Once again, this is a great area to see the transactions of the customer. So these are all the transactions for Keith Berry. Another quick way to drill through it, print a report if the customer wants to see their purchasing history. You can search by each category up here. So just another little snapshot or summary of these transactions for this contact. So that is the contact record and the tabs within it. Once again, general and the summary tab and transaction details. Get familiar with this, how to view it quickly, how to enter information in here quickly as the customer's checking in, especially if they're a new customer. We want to be able to get through this process and gather as much information as you can in a timely manner. And just to reiterate, like I said, in the order screen, when you're booking a tee time, anywhere you see this name with hyperlink, it's going to take you into that same contact record, and you'll be able to edit it as I just showed you. So that's the contact record area and how to make new contacts and edit customer information.